I'm now gonna show you how the good news sandwich works. I'm gonna call a client that I have, who's a real seller, who owns a penthouse in Tribeca. And I need to get her to adjust the price. But instead of just emailing her or instead of just calling her and saying, hey, hasn't sold, let's lower the price, which is a bad way to do it, I'm gonna show you how to sandwich bad news in between two pieces of good news so that the call is positive. So a little background before we actually call her so you can see everything in the works. Her apartment is listed for $10.8 million. Now, I know, where you live, where you sell, that might seem totally crazy, but the way I present all the information is exactly the same. So the apartment is a penthouse in Tribeca. It's 5,400 square feet, and we're listed for $10.8 million. When I first met with her, I told her it should probably be priced around 10, which is what I'm gonna try to get her to do now. She really wanted $2,000 a square foot, which is $10.8 million, and I agreed with her, in part because I wanted the listing, but also because it's a big, beautiful penthouse and it should sell at that price point, but the market's funky. We don't really know where we are. So we've done our best. We've been on the market for almost 4 months. Let me see now if I can get her to adjust the price. It's not gonna be easy. She loves this space. She thinks it's better than any other apartment in the history of the world. Let's see what she does.
Hello.
Hey Sarah, it's Ryan, your favorite broker. How are you?
Hey Ryan, how's your day going?
Everything is going well. Do you have a minute to talk about your apartment?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. First, it is like the coolest apartment I've ever had the chance to list. I just want to really quick just thank you for giving the listing to me in the first place. I look at the photos every day, and every time I'm there to show it, like it's just awesome.
Well, it is an amazing penthouse. Thank you.
Yes. And we've been on the market now for almost 4 months, and we haven't gotten an offer yet. So I just want to talk to you about strategy moving forward, because I know you do want to sell, right?
I do, yeah. You know, the kids are off to college. That's my husband and I. He's retired. And, you know, we have some travel plans. We'd like to sell it, of course.
Absolutely. So one of the things we should talk about, and I know you're not going to like it, is price point. Because the apartment shows beautifully. It's an amazing penthouse. You have great outdoor space. And the price that we're asking makes some sense. But I think the market has changed so much, even in these last 4 months, that even though both you and I believe the apartment is worth $10.8 million, the market is saying that it's not. And that's why we haven't gotten any offers. So I think the right thing to do is just to give a small adjustment to the price point so that when people are looking for the property, we get people looking up to 10 million and not people looking from 10 million to 12 million. Does that make sense?
Ryan, are you serious right now? With all due respect, this is a bunch of BS. I mean, you're the expert here. You priced it this way. I mean, we were expecting a minimum of 2,000 per square foot. This is a 5,400 square feet penthouse. We did renovations. We put in so much money. This is like a better penthouse in this building. No, I don't agree with that. I don't think the market is as bad as the news is reporting. You can do better, Ryan. Come on.
I completely understand what you're saying. I completely get it. The last thing I want to do right now is have a phone call with you to lower a listing price. All I want to do is call you and tell you we have 10 offers on the table and people are fighting. There's blood on the streets. But, and again, this is your home. We don't have to do anything you don't want to. You know, we've tried the 10.8 number, and you're right. I did pick that number because I honestly thought that that's what we could get, and maybe we could get more. But unfortunately, I'm not the market, and the market so far hasn't responded positively to that number. I've done my job and brought in traffic. I brought in as many people as I possibly could. I mean, you know that. I keep asking you guys to leave over and over and over, and everyone who comes through
Right.
really likes it, but we haven't gotten any offers yet.
No one is coming close to 10 mil? I mean, seriously?
Well, no one is coming close to our current asking price, and some of the verbal numbers that people have been throwing out have just been lower, which is only because the people coming in who can look up to 10.8 can also look up to $12 million. And so what I'd like to do is I would like to adjust the price to 10 million flat, or even just $1 below it, like 9.99, and open ourselves up to a whole new buyer pool. That way we get buyers who are looking up to 7, up to 8. Now they're looking up to 10 million, but that is it. They cut themselves off because everything's on the internet now. Everything's within search boxes. So I'm not changing what your place is worth. I'm just changing the buyer pool that we're bringing into this space, which will be totally new and totally different, and it'll bring a whole lot more energy. And if it's worth 10.8, the buyers are gonna bid it up. Maybe they'll even bid it up further. And if it's not, at least we'll get offers going forward.
I am a little bit disappointed. We were expecting this.
I know.
It makes sense for what you're saying. I'll just have to explain it to my husband and, can you give us a date just to think about it? But, I do like your strategy. Let me think about it, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. You can talk to your husband, you can come back to me. And I just want you to think about how the future isn't going to be much different than the past. So we've been on the market now for almost 4 months, like I said, and we've had good traffic, and we will continue to have good traffic because that's my job and I'm your broker and that's what I told you I would bring. But we haven't had any offers, and the chances that we're gonna get an offer going forward diminish more and more day by day the longer we sit on the market. So if we open ourselves up to a new buyer pool as soon as possible, and ideally today, before tomorrow's open house, we'll be able to get in more people before anybody else and try to get you this house sold at the best number possible.
No, I hear you. I definitely want more people in. We want the offers to come in. Let me speak to John, and I'll get back to you later this afternoon. Will that work?
Yeah, that
So
works.
we can decide?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. I appreciate the call. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Okay, so that was a real call with a real seller that just happened right now in front of your eyes. So what did you see there? You saw that I started talking about how beautiful the apartment was, how much traffic we had in it, and then the negative news that I gave, I didn't make it so much negative as I did strategy. This is what we're gonna do to try to make the positives even more positives. And then at the end, I didn't bring it back to, hey, just lower the price, lower the price, lower the price. I talked about the positives that will come from what will happen if we do the negative. That was part of the good news sandwich. And she didn't lower the price on the phone right there, but she knows now what needs to happen, and she does want to sell. And I'm sure in the next couple hours, she'll come back to me and say, go ahead. Or her husband will call me and I'll have to do the same conversation all over again, and the result will still be the same. And that's really how you do it. So you'll see now, if you incorporate the good news sandwich into your own sales practices, you're gonna end up closing a lot more deals.